motion be agreed to, and I give the call to the honourable member for Fremantle.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and I thank the member for Hindmarsh for putting this motion up for debate and all those who have contributed to it. It should be a matter of broad consensus that older Australians have a right to expect safe and secure and high-quality aged care services, wherever those services are delivered, at home or in a residential facility. For quite a long time now, we've been talking in Australia about the future challenges of our ageing population, but when you speak with people who are directly involved in aged care, they always press the point that that is not a prospective phenomenon, it is the reality here and now. And as a local member, I'm mindful of the changing composition of my own electorate. In the last 10 years, the percentage of people aged over 60 has continued to grow. It now totals 18% of the population, or nearly 1 in 5 residents. And of course, it varies across my community. The proportion of residents over the age of 60 in suburbs like North Fremantle and Samson, for example, is 29%, and in Coogee, it's 26%. In Australia as a whole, in 2016, there were 3.7 million, or 15% of all Australians aged 65 and over. It's threefold the number from 1976, which at the time was 9% of our population. We know the number and proportion of older Australians is projected to keep growing. By 2056, it is estimated that it will be 22%, or 8.7 million Australians. And while it's wonderful that Australia's public health and safety measures are enabling people to live and stay active longer, we do need to adjust our economy and our social compact to meet those changes. Deputy Speaker, in May, I had the privilege of opening the new Hillcrest Centre by Regis in North Fremantle. It's a beautiful facility. It's won awards for its sensitive reuse of a precious heritage building. And previously I attended a sod turning for a Regis facility under construction by the sea in the suburb of Coogee. I'm glad that additional residential capacity is being developed in this way, but I'm conscious of the need for a wide range of residential options and for better services for those who want to remain in their home as long as possible. One of the challenges in my community is the provision of culturally appropriate aged care. Both the Italian Village and Villa Dalmatia are examples of care facilities that ensure residents from Southern European backgrounds can be supported in an environment that makes them feel at home. These centres have only been made possible with considerable leadership and funding support from the local community, which I applaud. I've also enjoyed visiting the Jean Willis Centre in Hamilton Hill, which, in addition to its work supporting social inclusion and interaction for seniors in general, has a specific focus on cultural engagement with older Indigenous Australians. Deputy Speaker, last week the member for Port Adelaide was in Freo to launch his new book, Climate Wars, but it was as a result of his former ministerial role that he produced Advanced Australia, the Politics of Ageing. And that book examines the ideas and analysis that underpinned Labor's push towards a fairer and more flexible aged care program through the Living Longer, Living Better reforms. And those reforms included the provision of tailored care packages to people receiving home care, new funding for dementia care, $1.2 billion to improve the aged care workforce through a workforce compact and a workforce supplement, and a 2/3 increase to the number of home care packages from 60 to 100,000 of such packages. By contrast, the Abbott-Turnbull government has removed $2 billion from aged care funding at a time when client-to-carer ratios and specific high care conditions like dementia are increasing. Deputy Speaker, shortly after the election last year, I was grateful to meet with United Voice aged care workplace delegates to hear some of their stories of a system under stress, of carers being so rushed by high client-to-carer ratios that there's no time to help people wash their hair properly, of aged care staff having to pitch in their own money to buy basic toiletries or linen. Needless to say, that shouldn't happen. The 2016 United Voice Legislative Review submission opens with a quote from a care worker, and it says, "I'm proud and honoured to help others. I'm proud of the level and quality of care we provide to the community. Skilled and committed workers are needed in this industry. It's not work if you love what you do." Deputy Speaker, we have to remember that our aged care workforce is itself getting older, and it includes a majority of women. Like many vocational sectors with high female participation, there is no doubt that the incredible commitment of aged care staff is too often taken for granted and too often used consciously or unconsciously to hold down wages and conditions. That's wrong. Like childhood education, aged care is a labour of love. The very young and the very old represent special and vulnerable groups in our community. Caring for them starts with caring for the people who work in those sectors.
I thank the honourable member for